Hey YouTube, what is up? I have a story about something I did that was just so dumb, I felt like I had to share it. It's not even, I don't know, it's just something I did so absent-mindedly that the lack of me paying attention for about 30 seconds basically just messed me up for a night. I'm gonna preface this by saying that I am 21, and when you turn 21 in America, and whenever you turn the legal drinking age in any country, usually you happen to get alcohol as a gift. You know, to induce you into the zone of alcoholism that is adulthood. And someone in my family happened to get me a Jack Daniels gift set that came with a bottle of Jack, I think it was Honey Jack, and glasses that came with it as a, I guess, matching set to use with the Honey Jack. So I basically got Jack Daniels and Honey Jack embossed shot glasses, and that's where the story begins, basically. Later on, 3 months later, now, pretty much 3 days ago from when I'm making this video, I decided I wanted to make myself a martini after going to Manhattan with my girlfriend to see a show. I happened to get a martini at a bar, and I really liked it. I never had a martini before, so I decided I wanted to make myself one at my house. I got all the ingredients. I got myself some nice, I think it was Bombay Sapphire gin. I got myself some martini vermouth, dry and wet, and I decided to, go to town, make myself a martini, and drink it while I was preparing dinner for me and my girlfriend. And that's where the, I guess, shit hit the fan, metaphorically. I don't know. I decided to use those Jack Daniels shot glasses that I had gotten with the Honey Jack, and I decided to do a 3-to-1 ratio for my martini. 3 parts being gin and 1 part being vermouth. I put the vermouth in, what you're supposed to do is put vermouth in the glass. I used dry vermouth, I didn't use the wet. You shake it around the glass a little bit. You could dump it out if you want to. I didn't do it that way, but you can if you want to. I put the gin on top of that, put some olives in, stirred it, and just absent-mindedly drank it in like 5 minutes. And if you don't know me as a person, which most of you don't, because this is the internet and it's really, really random on here, I would actually be kind of creeped out if most of you knew me. I eat and drink food very, very fast. Not in the fact that I'm trying to do it like to be an asshole, but I just happen to, when I eat and drink liquor, water, or anything like that, it's just like, I focus on doing that. It's not like I set the drink down, come back to it, and graze at like a 10-minute interval. If I have a beer, I'll finish the beer in like, 5 or 6 minutes. I'm not like really, slowly drinking. It's like if I have a drink, I want to drink the drink and then not drink stuff for an hour. That's it. If I'm having a meal, I want to sit down, eat for about 5 minutes and then I'm done and then talk. I don't like stopping to eat and then having to talk to people, continue eating. I like drinking drinks when they're cold or really hot, and I eat food when it's really hot or cold. I don't like lukewarm foods, and I think that's where I kind of get the fast eating, fast drinking habit from, because I don't like flat sodas and stuff like that. So usually most of the foods and beverages I drink are best served really quickly, and you eat them fast because otherwise they get cold or flat and they don't taste good. So my habit to eat and drink very fast kind of was my downfall in this instance, because I drank the martini that I made absent-mindedly as I was preparing my dinner in a period of about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I'm not saying like I was like constantly chugging it, but I was taking, maybe like half a mouthful at a sip at a time, and as I was just like absent-mindedly cooking, I drank the whole thing in about 5 or 10 minutes, and it hit me relatively quick, and I didn't know, I just got a sick collateral, holy shit. Okay, so basically, I drank the martini really fast, and I felt it a lot faster than I do usually feel alcohol, because I've never been drunk before. Alcohol really doesn't affect me as much as it does, I guess, other people. I can drink, not to an excess, and I don't like feeling like drunk or anything like that, but I can drink a relatively large amount of alcohol before I actually start to feel the effects of it. And once I realized how fast I was feeling this, I knew something had to have been up, because basically I was feeling it immediately, and that never happens for me, not when I'm drinking whiskey, which I have a nice collection of, not when I'm drinking beers, even though beer's nothing, it's like water, you gotta drink like 4 or 5 beers to, I guess, start to feel it. But I knew I fucked up because of how hard this hit me, and within 6 minutes, I was not drunk, but I was like right on the precipice, and I felt it. And I was making myself dinner. I made rice, and I was scooping it onto my plate, and I knew once I dropped a whole spoonful of rice and just dropped it on the floor, I was done. My girlfriend, who was standing next to me, just told me, go lay down. Obviously, the martini hit you harder than you thought it would. And I was like, I understand. So I ate my food real quick, fell asleep for about 30 minutes, woke up, was still pretty much on the verge of being drunk. Had some coffee, and about an hour and a half later, I started to, come down from that. And I really didn't understand what fucked me up. But if you remember back to the beginning of the story, I mentioned the Jack Daniel's shot glasses, and that is where I fucked up big time. Because those were not, I almost got a second collateral there, by the way, but I fucked it up. Those Jack Daniel glasses were not shots, and they weren't jiggers. And if you don't know what a jigger is a shot and a half. It's 1.5 ounces, where a shot is 1 ounce. These were even bigger than a jigger. These were basically 4-ounce cups that I filled a majority of the way because I'm an absent-minded idiot. So if you do the math on the ratio I gave before, which is 3 parts gin to 1 part vermouth, I basically made myself I guess like 3 times 3 is 9. I basically made myself a 12-shot martini that I drank in about 10 minutes. And now when I think back, that obviously makes more sense. And in case you're wondering, oh, that glass is not that big, you're making this up. I'm not trying to, make a funny story. Also, those guys suck because I just knifed them to death. I took a half-ounce measuring cup that I had, for baking. My mother likes to bake, so I used one of her measuring spoons to actually see how big this cup was, and filled to the top, it was actually 4 ounces. But because I didn't fill it all the way to the top, I filled it just about under the rim. I'd say I put about 3 ounces of gin and vermouth per shot. So I made myself a 12-shot martini, and that is where my fuck up was. And I don't know how I was actually able to stay conscious to the point where I did, because if you think about it, drinking 12 shots of anything in a matter of maybe 10 minutes doesn't seem like it would end with anybody being conscious. I did fall asleep. I'm not, denying that. I took a nap after that, but it was of my own accord. I didn't pass out. I decided, I was like, okay, I'm not, too keen on this. I'm gonna take a quick nap. I made sure to lay on my side. I've never been sick from alcohol or anything like that, but I didn't want to take any chances. But that was the only time I've ever been hit by the fucking martini truck. And I'm just gonna put this at the end as well, just so you could see it real quick, and I'll put them up. Apparently, I decided in my drunkenness to tweet what had happened, and you can just see how quick the alcohol hit me, because the tweets get pretty much illegible by the end of it. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to say that story because it's, I guess like a warning tale to you guys, where just because, you're young enough to start drinking, or old enough to start drinking, rather, I guess is the proper way to say that, doesn't mean, you know everything about it. And because of my, I guess, naivety in assuming that every shot glass that comes with alcohol is actually a shot, which is basically an ounce, I fucked up. And it caused me to drink a lot more alcohol than I would plan to or would ever want to. So I guess, think of this as a little bit of a, preemptive warning to make sure you're actually measuring things the right way as well, because even though you could have the ratio right, you could definitely have the percentages off. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to click subscribe if you like this and videos like this, because I want to make a lot more of them in the future, and I think I'm going to start doing that. So thank you again. Don't forget to click subscribe because it's free, it's fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.